How's it going? Good morning, good afternoon, one of those wherever you are. Today I want to talk about the X100V, the X100 line, the X100 like cameras. Hell, not even from Fuji, there's a lot of options. So I've said in the past that the X100V is a camera that I will always own. I think I made a video on that, and I gave all the reasons why it's a camera that I will always own. I need to caveat that and say I will always own an X100V like camera. And by that I mean I will own a camera that is very functional, Swiss Army in its capabilities, great lens, pocketable. And I guess we should also define pocketable. I'll start by saying I personally am not a tight jeans person, so pocketable for me will not include tight jeans. It will not include these jogger things that I wear. Pocketable to me means that you could throw it in like a vest pocket or a jacket pocket, maybe a pair of shorts. I wear hybrid shorts, and I can say that the X100V will fit in a pair of hybrid shorts. I mean, it's gonna pull them down, but it's workable, it's doable. So the number thing I wanted to talk about today is always having a camera like the X100V. And I'm bringing this up just because there's a lot of hype around the X100V right now. You're seeing people pay up to $2,000 or over $2,000 for an X100V. And unless you just have gobs of money, don't spend $2,000 on an X100V. Do not spend $1,900, $1,800 on an X100V. There's too many other good options. Ask yourself, why am I buying the X100V? You know, if you're on the edge, like I got the money, got the budget, this X100V looks awesome. I've spent, 36 hours on TikTok over the last 2.5 days. I'm convinced I have to have it. Ask yourself, what is it? Like, what about that video? What about TikTok said that made you say, gotta have it? Was it that it makes it look like your images look like film? Was it that it has film simulations? Was it that it was pocketable? Was it that it was like super cool hanging around your neck? I say that as a real example. Was walking down the street in Santa Monica recently, and I did see, and hey, maybe this guy's like a pro or whatever, but I literally saw a person with the X100V just hanging on the neck, like Flavor Flav style, for anyone who remembers that. Yes, I'm old. So we've covered that I will always own an X100V type camera. So what is it that is so great about the X100V? And it's those things that I said. It is a pocketable Swiss Army knife. I've already explained pocketable, so let's explain Swiss Army. Swiss Army means that it's just got a lot of stuff that it can do, right? Like, there's instant cameras that they take a picture, may have a flash, and then they're very basic, right? The X100V, when I say Swiss Army, it has a built-in flash. It has a built-in ND filter. It has an f2 lens. What else? It has an OVF, an optical viewfinder. It has an EVF, an electronic viewfinder. It has like a hybrid OVF, which allows you to see information within the OVF viewfinder. It is an amazing camera with amazing functionality. The question is, what boxes do you need to check on the X100V? Do you need an OVF? Do you need an ND filter? Do you need a leaf shutter? Because those questions are expensive questions. Those are $200,000, $400,000, $600,000 questions relative to the X100V and other options. So let's dive in. What is great about the Swiss Army? About the X100V. We've said its size, it's Swiss Army, it has film simulations, it has image quality, it has, it's a beautiful camera. Among these cameras, there's your X100V. And I should fully admit that I recently sold my X100V for another camera. Let's pull. But this is the X100V. I'm not gonna lie, beautiful camera, absolutely beautiful camera. I can't decide whether the silver or the black looks better. You wanna drive some comments? Black, hands down, is the better color for the X100V. If you, excuse me, if you disagree, leave a comment below. That's not bait. So, what is great about the X100V that applies to other Fuji bodies? The image quality applies to basically every Fuji body over the last 10 plus years. There are other Fuji bodies that are pocketable. So you know what, let's dive into that. When I said that I wanted to try another camera that wasn't the X100V, what camera did I choose? Because I like pocketable, I like OVFs, EVFs, I like Fuji film simulations, I like the ability to create recipes. I chose this guy. It's a, I don't know, how old is this camera? This is the X Pro 2. And I'm not gonna lie, I think this camera's gorgeous. It is heavier, it is beefier than the X100V. Let's see if I can do this. So here are your two bodies side by side. I don't know how, if I can, that gives you an idea of their thickness, right? The X Pro 2 is a meatier camera. It is, so let's go back. I don't want to drop these on a granite countertop, so I'm trying my best, just holding theirs there for a minute for you to check them out. There you go. So, X Pro 2, 27mm lens, pocketable, yes. It goes in a coat pocket. It goes maybe in my hybrid short pockets. Fits in a cup holder. Well, one of the little holders in my truck. Is it an option for the X100V? 1000%. Does it have an OVF? Yes. Does it have an EVF? Yes. Does it have an ND filter? No. I rarely use the ND filter. And when I use the ND filter, I forget to turn it off. And then my ISO shoots up when I go back indoors. I just didn't use it that much. Are either one of those cameras known for their amazing eye autofocus and continuous autofocus and tracking? Nope. They both are, another comment bait, horrible. They're absolutely horrible at eye autofocus and tracking. If you're looking for a camera with amazing eye autofocus, amazing tracking, and you want a Fuji, you need the camera that I'm using. It's the XH2S, and I recommend one of the new 1.4 weather-resistant lenses. One of the new, it's the 18, the 23, the 35. Stunning lenses. Another comment bait. The 23 1.4, new 23 1.4, the new 33 1.4, I can't speak to the other one because I don't have it, but those lenses are much, much better than their older counterparts. The old 23 1.4, the old 35 1.4. That's my opinion. They're better lenses, they're sharper, better contrast, faster autofocus, weather resistant, I don't know what the others are. Stunning lenses. I digress. So, we've talked about the X100V. Boom, there it is. Notice that it doesn't grip in the hand as well. We've talked about the X Pro 2. Boom, 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 boom. This has, I don't know if you can see it, the little thing on the back. It's got a, I mean, it's not that big. It's just this little thing. I cannot express how much that helps carrying and shooting this body. What that does bring up is when we talk about the size of the X100V, the question is, are you the person who adds a hood? Are you the person who adds a thumb grip? Are you the person who adds an L bracket? Because if you do, same size, but you can use different lenses. And 99% of the people, including yourself, are not going to be able to tell the difference in the images between those two cameras. The autofocus is just as good because the AFC is worthless. Tracking, worthless. Yeah, it's worthless. You're not going to shoot pictures of your dogs running and jumping and track them with the X100V or the X Pro 2. I'll just say it, you're not going to. And if you do, chef's kiss. You know what you're doing and you're amazing. So anyway, those are two options, and we'll dive into like price points and stuff like later. There's another option, and again, what are we looking for? Do you not need an OVF? Okay, let's say you don't need an OVF. Do you need an ND filter? Oh, you don't need an ND filter. You want a small camera, you know, easy to carry around. I submit to you one of my favorite cameras of all time, the XE2. Look at this guy. All right, let's break out these two. So now we're talking, right? Lighter, smaller. That's pretty damn close, if I can say that, YouTube. This is possibly one of the best cameras ever made by Fuji. Is it the best camera? No, it's one of the best cameras. In fact, I like the XE1 and the XE2 so much that I put up with horrible autofocus. I put up with one, slow write times of images over the XE3 and the XE4. Is that more comment bait? I just don't like the XE3 and the XE4. I don't want to have to use the screen for my settings. I don't like that the flash is gone. Look at this. Let me grab the right body. See, this is my XE2. Look at this. I use it. I do. I'm indoors. And you pull it up. You can aim it up. Load it up. Let's see if it'll focus. Oh, I don't think I have a card in here, do I? There we go. I love this camera. Again, that's one that I will never sell, and the way that I don't sell it is I give it to my kid and say that it's his and it's for him to learn. That's the way I'm not selling the XE2. So let's just dive into a comparison as far as price. I think I've got some notes here that I was supposed to follow. So we now know if you're like in the mood to spend up to $2,000 on an X100V, you have options. X Pro 2 with a 27mm, XE2 with a 27mm, OG 27mm in the house. So what are we talking in price? The X Pro 2, this camera, will set you back just the body $800 to $1,000, roughly, for in good condition. You can find it Reddit Photo Market for like $800 to $1,000. If you buy it from like a dealer, you'll get a 180-day warranty on it just breaking and stuff, but you will pay several $100s more for those 180 days. And then the XE2 you can find for like $300 to $400, which is crazy because I think I paid like under $300 years ago. Fuji hype is contagious and it applies to all the bodies. So let's dive in. A 27mm on this camera will cost you $200 to $400. Let's just say $200 to $400. So the X Pro 2, let's just go bare bottoms, bare bottoms? I don't know that that's the best option. Bare bones. $800 for the body of the X Pro 2, $300 for the lens, so now you're at $1,100. You have $900 for another lens, for lens filters, for a bag, whatever. You have $900. Spend it how you want. I don't care. It's not my money. XE2, 27mm. So let's say $300 for the lens, $300 for the camera, $600. My math tells me you have $1,400. The crazy thing is, you buy this, and you can almost afford this at its regular price. I mean, if there's not a case to be made to not buy this for $2,000, I don't know that there ever was one. So let's look at, I'm gonna do it, to hell with it. Let's look at the people buying the X100V. You have the people who have always wanted an X100V. They understand what it is. They're Fuji fans. They know what they're getting. They know what blades and scissors and bottle openers are included on that Swiss Army knife. Then you've got people who have spent too many hours on TikTok and they see a beautiful camera and they see images that have been posted that honestly could have been taken with any of these cameras and no one would know the difference. And they say they've got to go spend $1,800 to $2,000 on an X100V. Out of those two groups, if you know exactly what you're getting and you want to spend $2,000, again, your money, your dime, go do it. But for the people that are watching videos and have to have a Fuji, have to have film simulations, have to have film recipes, have to have that look, that feel, I mean, I love Fujis, obviously. The look of an awesome Fuji body, I mean, it just, I don't know. The X100V is the wrong camera. I'm not gonna lie. I bought the first X100 and I love the images out of it, but the OK button was half the size of like the tip of my pinky. My thumbs, I have sausage fingers. I just do. It is what it is. Hitting the OK button on the original X100 is like it. My thumb covered the entire thing. Gone. X100S knocked it out. The X100T was the first one that I could use, like, you know, with the OK button. So I digress. I don't want to make this video too long, so we'll go into a quick comparison again. Here's your X100V and the XE2. Here is the X100V and the X Pro 2. Let's see if I can hold this a little bit. Ask yourself what you want. If you need an OVF, you need an ND filter, you need the X100V, and you're going to pay for it. Leaf shutter. If you need the leaf shutter, ask yourself why you need the leaf shutter. I don't need a leaf shutter. Are they cool? Yep. Are they quiet? Yep. Are they pretty, you know, do I use them for the flash sync? Nope. Are they supposedly actually bad at high shutter speeds? So if you want to shoot f2 super high shutter speeds, supposedly the leaf shutter is not the best at that. So if you're going to be shooting outdoors, bright light, f2, there might be a law diminishing returns on your X100V. So anyway, I guess my whole point here is don't spend $2,000 on an X100V. Either wait or try a different option. So finally, what is different as far as the images out of these cameras? Again, 99% of the people out there will not be able to tell a difference. If I don't shoot in a film simulation that doesn't exist in the other body, 99% of people will not know the difference in a classic chrome image out of any of these bodies. They will not know the difference in a Provia standard image out of these bodies. Then you take into account that, you know, you can create recipes, you know, vintage, analog, endless summer, whatever the recipe is, out the window. No one will know your photos are from a $300 Fuji. I'm not saying go lie and buy the XE2 and tell everybody you are shooting with the X100V, but you could. Yes, you could. And I would not be able to tell the difference. So, you know, do with that as you will. To summarize, every single one of these bodies have Fuji Science. Old Science, Nude Science. Are there people like me who say, oh, I like the look of the colors out of the XE2 better than the XE3, or the colors out of the X100T versus the X100F? Yes. Can I justify it? Probably not. I just look at older images in my, you know, Lightroom library, and I see some of the pinks coming out of the older bodies, some of the light blues, the baby blues, the skies, and I just like, oh, I remember that camera. Is some of it subjective? I would say all of it's subjective. It's unlikely that I can truly tell a difference in the colors and the tones out of one camera or the other. But I do swear that there is something about the XE2 colors. So anyway, finally, buy something you will take with you. Take it to the park. Take it on a walk. My wife and kids are now used to us going out to eat and me sitting down and plopping a camera on the table. They're just used to it, you know. Or I can say, hey, I'll just, you know, hey babe, can you toss this in your purse? That's unlikely. That's truly, truly unlikely. I'm not going to toss it in your purse. But buy something that you will take out and shoot. And if you see the X Pro 2 and you're thinking, oh my goodness gracious, it's absolutely beautiful, I just want to get up and take it with me. I want to throw it in the car, not literally, have it in the seat next to me, driving down the street. Some of my favorite things to do in LA as far as taking pictures is when I'm driving around LA is having a camera in the seat next to me with a 27-35, something with a little bit of reach but not too much reach, and literally at red lights taking pictures, because there's always something going on in LA. You know, whether it's, you know, Fairfax and Cienega, like a cool shot of somebody walking down the street with all those shops, or I think there's a place called Little Somalia or something like that. I forgot, with these awesome looking restaurants that I want to go try. There's just always stuff. So take it with you. Buy a camera that you will take with you. That's the takeaway. And any of these, boom, 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 will do the job. And no one will be able to tell the difference in your images between these cameras, assuming you don't shoot on a film sim that doesn't exist in one of the others. Do I have to have disclaimers on these videos? I don't know. So that's the video. I did want to share that, out of these cameras, I will say the X-E2 is going nowhere. I bought this literally this week because someone posted it. They were local. I could drive to meet them. And I was like, I just wanted to give it another shot. I've been shooting with the X Pro 2 for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I love it. I love taking it with me. But, do I want to go back to the X100V? And maybe I will later, but it's very likely that I'm just going to list this one for sale. I will be able to get exactly what I paid for it, maybe 50 bucks. So it's like a rental. I'm not really going to lose any money on that camera. I didn't overpay. I did not pay 16, 17, 18 or greater for that X100V. I paid a very fair price for the camera. So anyway, that's the takeaway. Get a camera that you'll use. And if it's a Fuji, enjoy, have fun. So that's it. Have a good one. Take care.